What the hell did I just watch? So there is this new movie around the block called Hokum. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I never heard of it before. I didn't even know that this thing was in the making. I heard of it for the first time from the mouth of Penguinozy, Moisto Critical. Moist, Mr. Moist, and Zaffy. Those two guys definitely helped me out in this. Those two guys definitely helped me out in this. When I first heard the name, I thought, oh, Hokum. That sounds like an Arabic name. Probably is something inspired by Arabic mythology. I still didn't give a shit though. But then I heard both of them say the same thing, that this is the shit. This movie is gonna have you shitting on your pants. You will shat yourself where you're sitting when you're watching this movie. And that the hype was real. So now even I got interested. And I stopped the videos and decided, you know what? Let's watch it. So I did. And frankly, I'm conflicted about it. I really am. Like the very beginning of like the first few scenes of the movie, it starts off with a jump scare, which you can literally see a mile away that's coming. But it does come. It doesn't really scare you, but like, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't good either. Eventually down the line, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, since some of you might have never watched it and are willing to watch it, and you need some opinions. Well, guess what? You're about to hear some opinions. And eventually down the line, this thing becomes a murder mystery. A good murder mystery. For a horror movie, that is. Most of the horror movies have a shitty murder mystery. Like the killer is a fucking ghost. Or the killer is a 100-year-old ghost. Or something. This time around, the plot was decent. The horror was also decent. Though there is this thing which most people would say is not bangable, but it is. You'll know when you see it. But yeah, it's a fairly decent movie. And the issue was when I watched it, I had some horrible Wi-Fi problems. I had some horrible issues with the Wi-Fi. So like an hour in, as I was watching it, the issue started. And I would have been completely fine if it had happened like an hour before, but it didn't. It started exactly when it was about. It started when shit was about to hit the fan, and that just pissed me off. So that by the time the horror was going on, I wasn't scared anymore. I was just pissed off because of the Wi-Fi. Even then, even as I was pissed off, some of the scenes creeped me out. Now, scenes can scare you. I mean, jump scares can scare you, but they don't creep you out in other movies at the very least. But in this one, it did. It it dwelled into the horror, but not as much as you would expect it. It was surprisingly good, basically. It revolves around witches. Like, as I went in blind, I have no fucking idea what this is about. I didn't even watch the trailer. I just saw some lantern guy, some dude holding a lantern. That's all I know. I assume that this is going to be related to the underworld. It was CGI underworld, but it was for like 15 seconds. So fuck that. So why is it that Hokum is exactly, more scarier than the ones that we've introduced to nowadays? The horror movies that we see nowadays. Why is it more scarier? The horror doesn't feel cheap. That's why. That's why it felt a bit scarier. Now, most of my life, the horror movies that I've been, exposed to were cheap shots. Like the earliest horror movie that I can think of is the first Conjuring movie. And that jump scare. That yeah, it was definitely a jump scare. That's literally the first horror scene that plays in my mind whenever I try to trace back the memory line and see who I've banged or not, like see who I will smash or not in these horror movies. That is literally the first thing that comes up. Nothing before that. Everything before that is an empty slate. So most of my life I have been exposed to cheap horror, except from which is a TV show. Good, by the way, really good. Haunting of the Hill House. Haunting of the Hill House, also good. Yeah, when I watched Hokum, that wasn't exactly the case. It really isn't. Even the jump scares were Even the jump scares did not feel like cheap. They were well made. So yeah, that is what the hell I watched. How much would I rate it? Uh, Rated 0 out of 10. Well, not 0 out of 10. I mean, out of 10, how much would I rate it? 7.2, 7.4, somewhere around that. It definitely deserves to be in there. But it's not scary. Like, I got really scared in a certain Korean movie. I cannot remember the name, but it goes like Gwanjum something. Gwanjum Hotel. Psychiat or some shit. But yeah, it was decent. That's enough for my rant. Bye.